On this installment of Creative Cabin Fever, I take a trip down memory lane and go back to BuskAid roots. So I'd like to introduce Anna Jordan, Ty Williams, and Derek Flynn. I'd also like to put out a honourable mention to two of the very important members of BuskAid, Michelle Brown and Karina Thompson. So guys, it's an honour to have you here with me today to talk about the 5th year running of BuskAid and how everything is going to be different this year because we've got a new format and it's a completely different year to usual. It's very exciting stuff. I've seen the lineup. I'm super happy. You have incredible sponsors on board as well. So let's talk, guys. We started off on the 21st of December. So what's happening on the 21st of December?
Will I go? Yeah.
Go on.
Yay. So the week leading of the... See, I can't even talk now. I thought Tig would take this one. So the week of BuskAid, we have 3 nights of events, and leading up to BuskAid, we also have events, side events. So the first night we have Stubb Vid Media. He's going to do, that's Stephen Stubbs, he does a quiz cast, which is ridiculous and hilarious, but he's going to do a special for Christmas for BuskAid, and he's going to do a raffle also. So that's going to kick off the Monday night. The Tuesday night, I don't know if many of you know, but we've been running a session with Jordan's sesh since last March, and it's been continuous since last March with no breaks, and it's just gone from strength to strength. So that would be on the Jordan's American Bar page, and every act that puts music in will have the donate.ie link on it in order to raise money as well. And then on Wednesday, which is the BuskAid night, we have live streams. We're going to do some pre-recording in Theatre Royal Waterford, Goma with the Camper Van of Sound. A few musicians are sending in videos. We're still kind of looking for acts, and but you know, we're just going to have that as our Glasgow night, you know, and our big sing-off. It's going to be wonderful. Oh, sorry, and the side events. Sorry, it's the 5K for BuskAid, so everybody do 5 kilometers a day. And then the donate.ie, I think, and then Ty will talk about his busk from your bedroom.
Yeah, so one of the things we wanted to do this year was to try and keep people engaged, because obviously the last 4 years we've had so many different musicians and poets and artists of all sorts out in the street busking for us. And I suppose the setup this year kind of doesn't allow for those kind of core volunteers to get involved, you know. So we wanted to do something that kind of, you know, would engage kind of the people that have been engaged the last few years, and kind of and reach kind of different parts of the online public sphere, if you like, that we can't reach really. So we kind of up with this idea of Busk from your bedroom, which will be, you know, post a video of you singing a song, doing a dance, read a poem, listen to a song, lying on your bed, anything, and donate to the iDonate link, idonate.ie/BuskAid 2020, and then nominate 2 or 3 mates to do it as well. So I'm calling it Busk from your bedroom because I think it's fun.
Yeah, no, that sounds fantastic. So obviously people can make submissions online, Tig, and all the information is available on BuskAid. Now, a lot of my followers don't actually come from Waterford. Strangely enough, I have a bigger audience outside of that. So for anyone at home who's watching this Creative Cabin Fever and has never heard of BuskAid, does anyone want to take the lead on how BuskAid came about, how it's been running for 5 years and what it does?
I suppose I'll take this one. Yeah, so we started BuskAid 5 years ago now, which is scary enough in itself. We started it 5 years ago. I suppose it kind of, like, I came up with the idea initially. What happened was 6 years ago. I was busking. I used to busk an awful lot myself around town, as did Derek, and Derek will be able to testify to this as well. And you know, I remember when I was busking around the town, you would see homelessness. Like, homelessness was so visible. You were kind of sharing streets with people that were sleeping on them. You know, and 6 years ago, I think it was New Year's Eve, I was busking in town, and I was after collecting whatever I had made in the day, and I was walking back home, or I was walking down to get the bus home. And I just, for some reason, like, the only people on the street at this stage of the evening were myself and people that were sleeping on them. There was nobody else around. so I said, sure, look, I went up and just whatever I'd made busking that day, I went into deals and I bought a few sandwiches and a few bottles of Coke and a bit of chocolate and stuff. And I just handed around to people that were sleeping on the street that night, and then kind of the idea was ticking around in my head for the rest of the following year. I wonder, could we do something a little bit bigger? What could we do? So the following year, I put up a post on Facebook and I kind of said, would anybody be around someday before Christmas? We will all go out and do a bit of busking and see if we can raise a bit of money for homelessness charities in Waterford. And the response was insane. It just blew up, that post. And before we knew it, we were standing in a HQ upstairs in the vintage factory with jumpers, a BuskAid logo all across them. It just kind of, it escalated very quickly. And when I started BuskAid that year, I went straight to Anna and to Derek. Derek, because I knew he had the knowledge of busking in the town, he knew the musicians of the town, and he knew what it was like to share the streets in that respect with people who were homeless. And I went straight to Anna as well, because I knew Anna was one of the most organised people in Waterford, and she knew how to whip people together to be able to do something, So that's kind of how it came about. And that first year, we put together BuskAid in the space of 3 weeks. And we raised €3,700 that first year. And it was just magic, it was absolute magic. So then year after year, we've just built on it. We've tried to make it bigger. We've tried to introduce more events. Viking Promotions got involved a couple of years ago when Eddie was in the hot seat, and then yourself last year. You've been doing gigs for us over the last couple of years. We've had all sorts of different events that we've done now over the last couple of years, which has been great. So we've been seeing BuskAid go from strength to strength, I suppose, over the last 5 years. And this year, COVID was a bit of a kick in the teeth, I suppose, because we had a nice template of how things were done. And it would have been kind of, well, I won't say it would have been easy, but we would have been able to put together something much quicker or whatever. But obviously with COVID, and we said, okay, we're going to have to do something completely different. So we're all completely out of our comfort zone this year and doing this. So I suppose what's really important is that we promote it, is that we get it out to as many people as possible, and that we reach as wide an audience as possible. So yeah, so we're definitely going from strength to strength and still growing. I suppose we didn't expect to be growing in this way this year, but this is where we are, and we're going to crack on and see what we can do.
We're ready for it. We're able for it.
Yeah,
we're hitting the ground running, so everything's all right.
Yeah, absolutely. And you have a wonderful team there. You have very inventive ideas and creative things. I'm sure there's so many local talents that are going to take part in this year's event. With the 5K a day as well, what you're doing is helping people have a reason to go out in the middle of winter. So it's a very hard time to motivate yourself. But if you're actually doing this for Tinton House, which is a very worthy association, then people are going to be more likely to do those energetic moments. Now, obviously myself, I'm not going to be around. So what I'm going to do my 5K is I'm going to do them as I'm being an artist liaison on a project I'll be working on for the next few weeks. So I'll just log my 18-hour day steps and then try and get some donations off everyone.
You'll do 100K easily. You'll do 100K just being a mommy. I think that's a good idea, Rebecca, because I think that people do. When people hear 5K a day, they're kind of going, "Oh, I'll leave you on your own with that one," but you're kind of going, "You do it already." It's just about making one small alternative by maybe walking to a space you can walk to once. I'll do it every day, but because I don't do things in mediums, I do them in extremes, So but yeah, I get bored of that, don't worry. But it's just a consistent thing. I think it's really good, and as I said to you in pre-interview, it's that these things are half selfish reasons for me, because I was finding it hard to get out of the house and do the smallest of things, but motivation, and you're not on your own doing it. There's people already posting up their pictures of their 5K for BuskAid and attaching their link, the donate.ie link. Anyway, I think that we should let Derek talk now. Derek said absolutely nothing. Derek is still asleep. And volume, Derek.
I'm here. I'm listening intently to you both, as I always do. I think just further to what Tig was saying there about this year, I think the interesting thing about this year is that we are going to reach further afield, which is kind of nice, because normally Like, it's very much a Waterford event, very much a Waterford festival, which is lovely, as every year has been. But this year it's going to be nice because, firstly, because the artists, there have been a few artists who wouldn't be around on the 23rd of December and haven't been able to take part in the last 4 years. And this year, they're able to send us a video, or they might be able to even get in and do a bit of pre-recording with us, you know. So we're going to hit a good few artists, I think, that outside of Waterford that we wouldn't have been able to hit before. But then we're also hitting, you know, Busk in Your Bedroom, the 5K. Anyone can do that. Literally anyone anywhere in the world can do that, you know. And we know in the Jordan sesh that Anna was talking about, we have, you know, there's posts coming from America, from all over. So those lads are going to be taking part in it as well. So, you know, it's wide open. It's not just for Waterford. The proceeds will go to Tintagel Housing Association in Waterford, but anyone anywhere in the world that wants to take part in Busk in Your Bedroom, 5K, whatever it is, or in the Jordan sesh, they're more than welcome to do so. And it's great to see it opening up like that, you know.
And Derek hitting an interesting one there about you know, the different communities online, if you like, or the different spaces online. Like you said, like, you know, on the Jordan's page, people from America, people all over the world there. You know, each of the three of us and the other people involved, like, we have our own set of friends on Facebook all over the world or in different spaces, you know. Like, the lads in college up here are mad to do something for BuskAid. They're all going to get involved with the Bus from Your Bedroom thing. And like the college papers up here are going to cover it and everything. So like it's kind of, you know, it's interesting when you bring something online that you can bring it to a much wider audience and it doesn't become as localized. Like BuskAid is a very, very local event. It's a very local fundraiser. We're doing it for a local charity. And the whole point of it in the last few years was that it is local and it supports local and it shows the best of local. And we are the best of what Waterford can offer in terms of charity, in terms of talent, and that's what we try to push. But this year, because it's online, it's open to such a wider community, which is exciting because now we're showing the wider community, we're showing the wider world the localness of Waterford, the local talent, the local, you know,
Community, yeah.
yeah. The wider world is getting to see the speciality of Waterford in a local sense, I suppose, you know.
I think as well, you know, local is global in a sense as well, because anyone out there, you know, beyond Waterford that's going to help us out, they know, you know, their own cities and towns and whatever have their own homeless problems as well, and you know, they're probably helping out in their own places. But if they can post a song or do a 5K for us, you know, it's a kind of it's a global phenomenon, and they know what we're doing it for. And you know, I think most people will be delighted to help out, no matter where, you know, it is in the world that they're helping it, basically, you know.
Can I just before we forget one of our most crucial points, before we can move on, is that we are helped out by our community to make this project happen a lot. So just to say that everything that people donate through the donate.ie or put in a bucket somewhere, non-contactable obviously, goes directly to Tintagel House. There's no money paid out. This is a non-profit. Every single thing that people put into this goes directly back to Tintagel Housing Association. And this week we were blown away because we've been sponsored. We've started to be sponsored. So the first person to come forward was Donald Croak from Blackfriars, and he was taking the advantage that they now have 3 spaces, and he feels that they could use that to their advantage. So what Donald said, he said he'd put €1 out of every coffee towards Tintagel in his 3 cafes on the 21st of December. That's at 12 a.m. I can't remember which, or 12 p.m. I can't remember which time we decided on, but that's there. And he also said he'd sponsor t-shirts for his staff. So that's such a massive thing. And he's always helped us out. Blackfriars has always been one of our hubs, our cores, you know. And then I got a phone call from Darren in JK Welsh's / T&H Doolins saying that they've contacted Traw Coffee and Powers, and they're going to do a thing where they offer €2 per hot whiskey or Irish coffee. Where am I going? I'll drink hot whiskey. Every €2 per Irish coffee over the weekends of the 11th and 12th, you know, and they're going to start pushing that now. Other sponsors in other senses are places like the Theatre Royal, who are going to allow us to use their venue for our pre-records, the Camper Van our Sound, Goma, our photographers and our cinematographers, our videographers, which is like H.K. Stewart, Matthew Riley, Thomas Grace, Matt, oh my God, I'm calling him a politician's name. What's your man's name? I'm calling him Matt Shanahan. Help me.
Ty, help her out there.
You mentioned that, Riley. You got it right.
What?
You mentioned Matthew Riley. You got it right the first time.
Yeah. No,
There's a lot of people to remember, okay? It's a very difficult thing, right? So I have the sponsors here that you said earlier. Just make sure we have them all set out. So we've got Blackfriars, which is incredible. We've got J.K. Walsh, incredible as well, and T&H Doolan's, obviously, because they work together. And you can go there at the moment, which is great. You can have your takeaway pints in the streets. So why not, while you're there, donate into the bucket that's going to be available starting very soon, okay? We've also got the online link, which allows you to donate at any point for anything. Even if you're not doing the 5K and you've got an extra €2 that you don't want to spend in pennies this week, donate it to BuskAid. It's just that simple. Anything you have, any loose ends, anything at all. They've also got Trawl Coffee, obviously, and Powers Whiskey, which are helping with those €2 against the coffees that are then all going to end up going for BuskAid, okay? Then Goma is going to be one of the pre-record locations. The Theatre Royal is going to be another one. And the Camper Van of Sound have kindly donated their time as well to help all the artists in Waterford that have so far agreed to do the recordings, to be pre-recorded before the big ending on the 23rd. So that's kind of where we're at. We've got Stephen Stubbs doing Stubbs Media with his incredible quiz cast. Like, that man is one of my heroes. If anyone outside of Waterford hasn't known the man yet, I do have an interview in the past with him specifically where you get to see exactly the lunacy you have to expect on the 21st when everything kind of starts kicking off. And then on the 22nd, obviously Anna has been running a Jordan session for the last few months because her family run an incredibly beautiful pub in Waterford City that is known for its locals going in there, participating in sessions and having just incredible fun. So unfortunately, as the doors have had to be closed, she has found a modern medium in order to showcase the beauty that comes from within the doors. And in that, she has been doing every Tuesday night a session where she tries to absolutely show everyone the beauty of the pub that is her family-run business. So this has been an incredible thing that they're doing anyway. So adding that to BuskAid, which is one of her other, obviously, feathers in her cap, is a wonderful way to showcase the beauty of everything that is there. And obviously, the guys have asked for any submissions. So if anyone is watching my interview from my side of things, please feel free to get in touch with the three of them and send in a pre-recorded video of your own or any donations at all. Is there anything else you'd like to add to the interview before I let you go?
Rebecca, could I just say, just on that last note where you were talking about the €2, you know, if you have a spare €2, we're not looking for, you know, obviously it's tough times for everyone now this Christmas, you know, more so than any other Christmas. We're not asking people for lots of money, but if everyone, you know, I said, right, instead of buying, when they're walking around the town, instead of buying this 1 cup of coffee, I might just go home and stick €3 in the I donate. It will be a lot of money and it would make a lot of difference to Tinton, you know.
Send us a picture of you at home with your cup of coffee in your hand and say, yeah, I saved $3.70. It is something.
Yeah, a great idea, yeah.
If you just show us a picture and tag your head saying, yeah, drink at home December. Only messing. Yeah.
No, the pubs are open again. I need them. I need them.
You'll be there on your own. I'm doing dry December. I'm nuts.
Oh, fair play to you. There are a couple of more sponsors that I'd like to mention as well. One being Waterford in Your Pocket, who have been an immense support over the last few years.
Yeah.
Like Paul Dower is the authority on everything that happens in Waterford. And
he's our backbone.
Yeah, he's given it so much time, so much publicity, so much help over the last few years. And the final big finale on the 23rd will be streamed from Waterford in Your Pocket as well. So, you know, even though it's not a normal year, Paul is still offering his help and offering his talents. Like, the man is a legend, and the whole family, they're involved. Jean and Aaron and Craig, they're all fantastic. You know. Also, I want to mention Sure Design, because Barry McCormick from Sure Design has been one of our closest supporters over the last 4 years. Like, that man will do anything for us. You ask him to jump off the bridge for us and he will. You know, he's so passionate about BuskAid. And you know, like this year, obviously we have no need for anything that's printed or anything like that. So
Oh, hang on now. Now
well,
that you
we
say
might do,
that,
actually.
Tyke.
We haven't spoken to Barry yet.
Lovely.
We might do yet, but like,
Yeah.
I still though, like, the man deserves a shout out. He deserves all the praise for all the help and work he's given us over the last few years. The man is an absolute god.
Yeah, he's a printing
Also,
wizard. Like, you go to him with anything and he can do it. Like,
absolutely. But even just from the work he's done at BuskAid, you know, I'd always be referring Barry to mates of mine whenever somebody wants something printed or whatever. Like, he does Christmas presents and everything for me the whole time, you know. The other thing that I want to mention as well before we go is what Tintán is and where the money is going, what they do with the money. So Tintán Housing Association are up on Hennessy's Road. They provide accommodation with support for women and families in homelessness situations. So instead of it just being a shelter for one night or for 2 nights, they actually provide them with proper temporary accommodation so that they are for as long as they need the accommodation. And while they're there, they receive support as well. So whatever the issues that brought them into homelessness in the first place was, whether that just be financial issues, addiction problems, you know, whatever it is, they'll address those issues as well and help you out. They also run kind of different classes and stuff like this. I know Anna does a load of classes up there around kind of creative writing and stuff. They run cookery classes, art classes. Derek's wife, Ruth, has done a bit in there as well on art classes. So that's where the money goes.
I think on that note, Tyke, just to say, none of those classes, you know, they don't have the money to run those classes. They are running on a bare bones. You know, I didn't mean to cut across you there, but just
they're voluntary work, or else they're enterprise or whatever, like kind of community work, you know.
Yeah, all the money that comes from BuskAid, you know, that's what provides those services, because they're literally running on a bare bones budget as it is. So every few euro that goes in can organize another class or another activity or whatever it is, you know.
Yeah. And the thing as well is, like, the funding that Tintán get, the Tintán are funded by the HSE, and the funding that they get only covers their staff. It only covers the salaries of their staff, if you like. So if they want to run any classes like that, if they want to do anything like that, if they want to buy new buildings or buy new materials or whatever for the buildings that they already have, that's where the donated money goes to. So, you know, like Claire O'Sullivan is the project manager inside in Tintán, and the amount she's been able to tell us the last few years about where the money has gone is just incredible, you know. Like, it's probably their biggest income of the year is from fundraising from BuskAid. So it's so important, it's crucial. And Waterford are really leading the line in terms of reaction to the homelessness situation in Ireland. We're if not one of the best in the country at dealing with homelessness in Waterford and our reaction to it. And it's because of the work of organisations like Tintán House. So it's crucial that we keep supporting them and we keep pumping as much money as a community that we can into it, so we can keep people that are part of our own community off the streets, in a bed, and you know, looking after themselves.
And because of the generosity of the people of Waterford as well, you know, they go that extra mile to help, you know, anyone in trouble in the township. We all know that, you know.
They have a relationship. So all the different communities, all the different like crisis centers, if you want to call them, they have a relationship. So they'll meet up and they'll talk and they'll discuss and they'll see if they can help more. So, and then they have a lot of the resources are all under one building as well. So Waterford is a model that the rest of the country can kind of follow. But before we're probably really nearly ready to leave Rebecca go now. But just, can I just say to keep an eye on, as Tyke mentioned, one of our backbones is Waterford in your pocket. It's probably been the backbone for the whole year in Waterford, really. But just to keep an eye on that for the actual events that we have on the Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday, be sure to pop into Blackfriars and JK Welsh's /Teen H Doolins as well, because they're really helping us out, you know, and to go into our other venues as soon as they open their doors. And thank you for the support. And we're still looking for support. We're still looking for other venues for sponsors. We're still looking for sponsorship for t-shirts for our acts while they're doing it, and perhaps just for our runners while they're running. There's nothing like visual branding to help promote and what's the word I'm looking for? An event, a cause. Yeah, it's my 11 o'clock slump, is it? Yeah. Thank you, Rebecca, for having us on.
Thanks a million, Rebecca.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. I'll make sure to cross promote any event that's happening on Viking Promotions and any of my other socials. And if I can reach out to anyone in my fold, I'll also make sure that you're talked about there. It's been a pleasure having you guys. It's such a great thing that you're doing. BuskAid is always such a magical time. Obviously, it is a shame that it has to be changed from our streets, but it's the way everything is now. And it's a great opportunity to just kind of look at things differently and come up with even more inventive ways to be seen everywhere. So I'm dead proud of you all. I wish you the best. I will be back on the 19th, so I'll be able to probably help closer to the date if you need anything. So I'll stop recording now. And guys, best of luck with everything.
Thank you.
Thanks a million.
Thanks so much.